I think before, you know what I mean. I definitely matured a lot just by doing this so much. Whereas before it was, every day I'm like thinking about the fight, thinking about the fight, thinking about the fight. Now I'm just like, okay, enjoying the moment. I'm in Nashville right now, so I'm just like thinking about, oh yeah, let's go walk around, just enjoying every day like it's my retirement fight. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I think that's my new mindset. Is just kind of enjoying the present moment and not thinking so much about Saturday until Saturday gets here. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. So you're not like Rocky Balboa with Clubber Lang's photo on the mirror, thinking about Saturday, thinking about Saturday. You're trying not to think about Saturday.
Yeah, because if you think about it, right, it takes energy to when you get worked up. That's energy that you're expending, and you don't want to expend unnecessary energy. You want to save all that energy for the fight. You know what I'm saying? You just
Right.
want to enjoy the moment. I only get to be 31 in the UFC one time.
No, no, for sure. Well, one of my biggest pet peeves, and believe me, I have plenty of them, have fighters that missed weight. And if I'm correct, 3 of your last 5 fights, your opponent missed weight. That's correct, right?
Um, Not necessarily. So the last fight, it was a catch weight. We both agreed on a catch weight. So um, the last fight was a catch weight, but two of those fights, yes, my opponents missed weight.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, A, it's one of my biggest pet peeves. 2, we saw what just happened to Wonder Boy, out in Salt Lake City. How do you, and I've always wondered, and you're proving it, where you won, 2 of those 3. Um, how do you accept that? I think as a licensed judge, which has nothing to do with that, but as a judge in Florida, I would like to see bigger penalties. I don't think the penalty is big enough for someone
Me
who misses
too.
weight.
Me too, because you know what I mean. Like some of the fighters, it's like okay, some of the fighters they'll be like, all right, you know what? Well, 20% of my purse is nothing. I'll just not cut that. I'm not going to cut that weight because if you think about it, right, it's gonna take it probably takes anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour to cut maybe a pound and a half. That's a lot, especially a flyweight. That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like a lot of these fighters are like, oh, I'll just give up that that 20%, to not cut that weight and just be stronger. Which is kind of, if you think about it, it's cheating. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to cheating the system. Um, I do feel that some people do have bad weight cuts. You know what I'm saying? That a bad weight cut is a thing. So I don't knock those. If you have a bad weight cut, like I get it. No one's perfect, but I feel like, hey, just make it 30%. You know what I'm saying?
As a person, and I say this all the time, and I've already said it to one of the other fighters that's on today, my next weight cut will be my cremation. I get that. I'm not going to weight
Yeah.
cut. I'm an old fat dude, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to disagree with you only because there's many miles between the two of us, and you're not going to be able to punch me in the face. I don't think there's any excuse. I don't care about bad weight. You're a professional. This is your job. It's your job to make sure that
Yeah.
when you get on the scale, because it's a huge, and a lot of fans don't get it and understand it, it's a huge advantage, to not cut that last pound or 2 pounds.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. But for me, I'm a fighter. So at the end of the day, it's like you know what, I'm gonna fight you regardless. Like I don't. If someone misses weight, it really doesn't bother me as much as it bothers most people. Only like I said, for me, it's like I'm gonna go in there and do what I do. Um, because I try. Here's why it doesn't bother me. Because it's not that it doesn't bother me. It's that I won't let it bother
Right,
me. Do you understand what I'm
right,
saying?
right. Yeah,
Because again, energy. I believe when you use a lot of your energy on unnecessary things. I mean, not unnecessary. It is necessary, but that's energy that you know what I mean. You could be using in your fight. So I try not to let it bother me. Now, after my fight, then I'm like, okay, I kind of think about it more, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
right,
That definitely is, a lot of the advantages. When I fought Manil Kopp, he missed weight by, I think, 2.5 pounds. You know what I mean?
right.
And during the time, I was like, I'm not gonna let it bother me. But after the fact, I was like, oh, that's 2.5 pounds. makes a big difference. You know, especially at flyweight,
Sure, and I totally get about the energy. It's I've had some people in my life that we've had a disagreement, a falling out, and it would bother me until I finally cut it out, and because that energy was killing me. And once I did, things were better. The final thing I want to bring up about missing weight, I think that there should be at least a 1-point deduction for missing weight.
1-point deduction. Yeah, I mean that's that's a steep one.
Then don't miss weight.
I don't know if I agree with the one. In the fight though, I don't know if because I don't know. I think it should be come out of your purse. I think they should suffer to like 30-40% of your purse. I don't know about the fight.
The reason that I say a point, and again, you're the fighter, whatever you think, it makes more sense than, just me making stuff up on a fly, even though I've said the point forever. The 20%, the 40%.
Well, because that's a whole round, you're pretty much starting the fight with like a
sure.
round. That's why I said, I don't know.
And one of the things that's kind of killing my theory on that, we don't do any research on here. It's the longest running MMA show in the country. We just have conversations. I've always said I would be curious when a fighter misses weight, how many times the missed weight fighter wins. And I would say it's more times than not. But then you're on and you've won 2 of the 3 of them. One was the catch weight and, the other 2. So, that kind of throws a thing in. But
yeah.
I believe if every fighter knew they're going to lose a point, which means the chance of them winning is slimmer to none. How many of them are going to miss weight?
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That is true. I actually didn't think about that. Yeah, no, you're right.
It totally changes things. You're fighting a guy.
It definitely.
Yeah, just a thought. I don't think anybody will ever do it, but and if it's the money, I think it needs to be enough of the money where now the guys or girl is not going to want to fight. You're not going to want to fight if you're giving up 50 or 60% of your purse, but you got to make it hurt, no matter what it is. My daughter comes home late. I got to make it hurt. I can't just say, okay, go to bed. We'll talk about it in a year. You got to make it so that they don't do it again. Before we run out of time, let's talk about your opponent. First fight in the UFC. Do you got to kind of try to, block that out? When we had Max Payne on, he said he felt disrespected by who they had him fight because it was somebody fairly new, and then we all know what happened in the fight. So do you have to kind of block that stuff out?
No, man. I think it's just another day in the office for me, man. Honestly, rankings are for fans. But I do believe, sorry, I shouldn't say rankings are for fans. I mean, it matters when it goes to the top 15. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When it's in the top 15, it definitely matters. But it's like you do kind of have to block it out because, for me, it's like, okay, this guy, they're trying to make a name of this guy off of my back. Like that's not gonna happen. I can see where you feel disrespected. Because it feels like. This guy's coming, to make a name for himself off of me. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure. And I'm going to just add something, that you said rankings are for fans. Unfortunately, rankings are done by some fans. Some of the media people that I used to be in the rankings and no longer, because it's fans that are doing some of these sites that are like, oh no, that's my favorite fighter. I'm ranking him second when he shouldn't even be ranked or ninth or, so I've stopped everything involved with the rankings.
Yeah, man. I don't even know how they do rankings anymore.
So I know it's a little bit dated, but on a website called MMAdissect.com, in an 8-year period from 2013 up 8 years, there were 109 fighters that fought overweight, and it was about a split, 51 wins and 58 losses. So it's about a 50-50 split if you lose overweight or if you miss weight.
Okay.
I'm just saying those numbers.
Because another. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Please cut them off.
Oh no, I was gonna say another way to think about it too is, if a fighter misses weight, that just means that their weight cut was really, really bad. So that's how I think of it. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I fight somebody and they miss weight, I try to always think of the optimistic way of, okay,
That's
instead of being
great.
like, oh man, it's an unfair advantage. Because then that's that negative energy that's going into your fight. I just think, okay, this guy had a really bad weight cut. I'm about to take advantage of him.
That's the difference between you and me, O'Day. You are a nice human being. I'm like, this is an unprofessional person, and he should lose a point. He should be fined. He should be blah, blah, blah. That's the difference between me and you. You're a good dude. I'm not.
I'm Jamaican, man. We Irish.
Okay. All right, there you go.
But that is a great viewpoint, though, because I know coming from the professional bodybuilding world, there's some days you just physically can't lose weight. You did everything right, and you get on the scale, and you're up 2 pounds, and you're like, I didn't even eat anything. I didn't do anything.
Then you didn't do it right.
Yeah, no, and it's true. A lot of times, man, when the guys miss weight, their weight cut is so bad, and they're like about to pretty much die. They're like dying on the scale, And so me, I'm like, okay, we doing a lot of body kicks this fight.
Maybe whoever that is that just barely missed weight should watch a video of Daniel Cormier weighing in.
Holding the towel.
Holding the towel.
The towel trick.
Exactly. Exactly.
It worked.
What do you know about your opponent? And I'm not even going to attempt to say his name.
Assu, bless you.
I love this guy.
I know that he's a grappler from Kazakhstan, grappler wrestler. He honestly, he's his style is kind of boring. He kind of has a very boring. He's not like ground and pound. He's looking to kind of hold you. That's what it looks like from, you know what I mean?
Right.
On the feet, he's looking to throw, spinning techniques. And I don't know, man. It's hard to say with those guys, you know what I mean? Because a lot of those guys, they compete in tournaments and they pad their record, and so it's really hard to say. So I'm just gonna go in there and test his chin out, test his body out, and see what he's about. The only one way to find out is just go in there. Sometimes you can't really think too much about that because you can't. Sometimes I'm just gonna say it. Sometimes guys really are trash, and you give them too much credit, and you make them better than they are. So
Awesome.
I'm not trying to make him better than he is.
Right, I get you. O'Day, we are out of time. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the week. Have fun on Saturday. And we're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong for coming on. Have fun on Saturday.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Take care.
Awesome.
That dude's awesome. O'Day is awesome.
Great.
UFC on ESPN Nashville on Saturday. See everybody next Thursday live from the Apex in Las Vegas.